Te koto te whānau o Auckland Unitarians. Te koto nā manuhiri, no mai, higher mai ki tere whare karakia, a te atua, te koto, te tato, katoa. We welcome you into this space made sacred by Auckland Unitarians for 118 years. It's a long time. And it's been a gift of not knowing what comes next. It's a space made sacred by questions, not answers. It's a space made sacred by community, living into the unknown together, offering support as we walk a path of mystery. It is a space made sacred by morning tea, a time to connect with our visitors and reconnect with old friends as we ponder questions and listen to each other's answers. It is our sacrament of hospitality. Please join us. It won't be complete without you. All of the major religious traditions and numerous philosophies rank compassion amongst the greatest of virtues. For Christians, Jesus embodies the essence of compassion and relational care. Jesus taught the Golden Rule. Compassion was central to the Christian ethos from the beginning. The Gospels show Jesus practicing concern for everyone, reaching out to sinners, prostitutes, lepers, epileptics, tax collectors. He told his followers to refrain from judging others. In Hinduism, the central concept that is particularly relevant to the attitude of compassion is ahimsa. Ahimsa is a Sanskrit word that can be translated most directly as refraining from harmfulness. The Buddha stated, compassion is that which makes the heart of the good move at the pain of others. It crushes and destroys the pain of others. When his attendant asked the Buddha, is loving kindness and compassion a part of the practice? He replied that it would be true to say that the cultivation of loving kindness and compassion was all of the practice. From Islam, the foremost among God's attributes are mercy and compassion. From the Quran, each of the 114 chapters, with one exception, starts with the verse in the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. One of the practical purposes of fasting during the month of Ramadan is to help one empathize with the hunger pangs of those less fortunate, to enhance sensitivity to the suffering of others, and develop compassion for the poor and the destitute. In the Jewish tradition, God is the compassionate and is invoked as the father of compassion. Rabbi Akiva, who lived around 50 AD, stated that the commandment to love one's neighbor as oneself is the great rule of the Torah. From the Kabbalah, one rabbi stated, kindness gives to another. Compassion knows no other. We come together every week, bound not by a creed or a mutual desire to please one God or many gods. Yet we are drawn together by a belief that how we are in the world, who we are together, matters. We light this chalice together in the knowledge that love, not fear, can change the world. What happened to compassion? We're living in a time I find exceedingly painful. It seems that all too many feel it's okay to treat others as if they were less than human. Part of the problem is I spend too much time following what is happening in my home country. This past week, the mass gun shooting in El Paso, where over 22 died and 48 were wounded, was the 250th this year. This year. According to the shooter's manifesto posted online, he was inspired by the shooter in Christchurch. The difference was he was seeking to kill Mexicans instead of Muslims. Just a few hours later, the 251st mass shooting happened in Dayton, Ohio. Police were able to stop the shooter in Dayton in less than 1 minute, actually in 30-some seconds. And it took only that long for him to kill 9, including his own sister, and wound 27 others. When I was living in the U.S., there were occasional incidents of mass shootings, but they were relatively rare. They were described as someone going postal. This was a reference to a fired postal worker acting out his rage in his workplace at having been fired. Prior to such incidents, the earliest mass shooting in my memory was when I was 17. It was 1966. Charles Whitman, a former Marine, took weapons to a tower on the University of Texas and began shooting indiscriminately in the plaza below, killing 14 and wounding 31 others. I remember the country being horrified, but not horrified enough to do what Jacinda did to push through gun control measures within 6 days of the massacre. While there are a variety of reasons for such horrible acts, it was clear after the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012, when 20 children between 6 and 8 and 6 adult teachers were killed. There was not a national will to do as Jacinda would later do. While it's clear that some of the shootings are due to mental illness, what is becoming more common is they are hate crimes, similar to Christchurch. After El Paso and Dayton, Donald Trump gave a speech to the country, blaming everything from mental illness to video games to social media for these acts. What he failed to acknowledge was the role of his own hate speech against immigrants and support for white nationalists. Oh yeah, and it wasn't guns. He has normalized hate crimes, laughing at one of his rallies when his supporters said the answer to immigration was to shoot them. I shudder at his hate speech. It goes viral beyond the US. Just ask Anu in India. The shooter in Christchurch acknowledged Trump as his inspiration. This lack of compassion that feeds such horrific acts is creating an environment of fear this week in a conversation with the president of a Unitarian congregation in Tampa Bay, Florida, that flies flags in support of Black Lives Matter, the rainbow community, and the United Nations. I learned that they now lock the doors when the service begins. While we can give thanks that we live in a country where such acts have been rare, we cannot rest assured that hate crimes will not rear their head. They already have. Members of the Muslim community have continued to receive threats in public since Christchurch. I know what that feels like. Twice I've had to call the police when I received death threats. They did identify one of them and took action. I have also received countless harmful emails and comments on St. Matthew's website because of my support of the LGBTQI community and my opposition to the Bible in Schools program. I have found that particularly ironic since many came from Christians. Over time, I've developed a thick skin, but I'm still left wondering, whatever happened to compassion? I don't know the answer fully, and I'm interested in what you think. I'd like us to first choose somebody near you, preferably not a partner. And I want you to first answer a question. Are things better or worse in your experience, in your personal life, okay? In terms of, are we more or less compassionate than in the past? Do you find it more difficult to become passionate yourself towards those who aren't, to those who aren't compassionate? You, Okay, I have two more questions, all right? Keep that in mind. Is a society that lives out the golden rule hopelessly idealistic? This is based on Confucius coming up with the first one, the first version of it, 2,500 years ago. So, what's your thoughts? Is it hopelessly idealistic? I can tell you of one community in India that lives it out. There is no crime there. No one hurts one another. If someone goes on vacation, they put a board in front of the shop and says, "We're on vacation." Nobody breaks in. Nobody steals anything. No one is harmed. I have no idea how they pulled that off, but I do know it is possible. It's in India. I would have to look up the name of the town. Somewhere in my notes I am. All right. Can Unitarian Universalists make the world more compassionate? Final question. My closing words are brief. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion.